So, Davy Chappy recently released a video, Power Does Not Exist in D&D, and this is a video response to that. To start off, I liked Davy Chappy's video. He raised some good points. The basic premise of his video was focusing exclusively on the mechanical aspects of your character to the detriment of everything else does not change the overall difficulty of the game in your favor. It can cause a power difference between the players, but that's about it. The DM scales the difficulty of their encounters to account for the capabilities of the party. With this in mind, players should feel free to make more fun and interesting choices when building their characters, and not always the ones that will make them more mechanically powerful. As difficulty in D&D is largely artificial and determined by the DM and custom made for the players. This is obviously an oversimplification of his argument and ideas. I recommend watching Davy's video. It's very well done and makes some excellent points, and helps pull back the curtain a bit on how the mechanics of some encounters will work. I agree with a lot of this video, there's really solid advice in there. The part of the video I disagree with is the assumption that a good GM should always build their encounters around the capabilities of the players, not putting the players into situations they can't handle. Now, don't get me wrong, GMs should definitely have some bespoke encounters in their games, specifically designed to let the players' particular abilities shine through. It can be good to factor in your players' strengths when building encounters. But that's not the only way to build encounters, and not every encounter needs to be custom made for the players. When I GM, I will often design my encounters without knowing or considering the player's skills and capabilities, trusting that my players will find a way to use their abilities, resources, and wit to solve the problems I've put in front of them, whether that's through combat or some other means. This does require a lot of trust between the players and the GM. Players should know their weaknesses and strengths, and have to account for them. This can lead to some wonderfully dynamic encounters. If the players are thrown into a situation they can't handle, they just have to figure something out, making hard choices if it comes to that. I tend to like this way of thinking. It puts determining the path to player success in their own hands. For example, let's say there's a giant monster that regularly attacks a local village. If my players have made super strong, well-built characters with good combat tactics, they could just stand and fight the monster, punching well above their weight. But if the players know the monster is way too strong for them, they have to come up with some other tactics to solve this problem. If the players are particularly charismatic, they could rally the town to help them stand against the monster. If they're good investigators or rangers, the players could track down the monster and find out some of its weaknesses and ways to exploit them. If the players are tricksters and wizards, they could set a trap and then use illusion magic to lure the monster into it. Or if they're particularly evil, they could get the monster to destroy the town and steal everything of value. But these solutions are only meaningful if they've come from the players. For a lot of my games, I will put a seemingly impossible task in front of the players and leave them to find their own way to solve it. I may give them some tools and resources, but it's the players that have to find their own way to success. To Davy, if I've misrepresented any of your opinions or your video, or put words in your mouth in any way, I do apologize. That was never my intent. I just wanted to talk about my takeaway from your video. I also acknowledge this could just be a difference of opinion in GMing styles, and that's also fine. Tabletop RPGs have a wide appeal to a lot of different styles and preferences of play. I want to thank everyone for watching. We've seen a lot of support lately for the channel, and it is truly appreciated. If there's a topic you'd like to see me cover in the future, or a question you'd like to ask me about, feel free to ask in the comments. Until next time.